I don't like BuzzFeed. So what is BuzzFeed known for? You probably know them for their quirky quizzes, stuff like, watch us guess your favorite nugget shape and reveal exactly what it reveals about your personality. Or another good one I found was, don't freak out, but we know your deepest, darkest secret based on the school supplies you pick. You just can't make this shit up. Some other stuff they're known for, just various articles, including what Wikipedia refers to as listicles. And I don't know about you, but that word, that's just too close to testicles for comfort for me. In 2022, they generated, 437 million in revenue, having 1,368 employees. So naturally, with all that growth, they've branched out into different categories of media, including even having a whole division of their company called Buzzfeed Tasty. And that's what brought me to make this video. I honestly don't even know why I still follow this Instagram account, but I saw this post today, and that kind of brings me to my first issue with BuzzFeed in general. Now, I generally think I'm a pretty good cook, as you can tell by the high quality, fine dining that I can produce. Anyways. So I decided I want to check out this article and see how many of these things I may or may not do in the kitchen, just because I thought it would be fun and maybe I'll get some tips. But here's the thing. Every single one of BuzzFeed Tasty's descriptions on their photos on Instagram, they're all like this. Every time I see the fucking link in bio, it feels like it's mocking me, and then my blood just starts to boil. Now, I know this might be like a tiny little thing for probably 99.9% of people, but it's like, I don't want the link in your bio. I want the link to the damn article that your post is talking about. I don't think that's too much to ask for. Now, why would BuzzFeed want you to click the link in their bio? I'll tell you why. Because their link, it takes you to a page that just... Here, I'll just show you. It's just filled with a bunch of their most recent articles, which I understand is their way of exposing the consumer to more of their content and creating more engagement. But the issue that I have with this, right, is even an hour after I first clicked this link, trying to find the article that I wanted, there was already another article on that page. Now, I don't know about you, but I'm not on Instagram all day. So realistically, by the time I see a post that might even make me want to go and try and find the article, there's going to be like 20 different articles ahead of the one that I was trying to look for, and I just have to hope that my little ADHD monkey brain doesn't miss it as I go scrolling through trying to find it. It's a very clunky way to get where you're trying to go. It just feels shady to not link directly to the article that the post is talking about, because rather than caring about your viewers and getting them easily to where they're trying to go, what they're doing is they're just shoving content down your throat that's honestly probably irrelevant and not what you're looking for. And I get that BuzzFeed makes most of their money from ads, so the more articles that you get them to view, the more ads they see, the more money that they generate. But at this level, it feels just greedy and predatory, and I don't like it. Now, that brings me to my second point. I have an ad blocker. Please don't hate me. It makes exploring the internet better. And when I opened the article on my laptop to start doing research into this, the ad blocker, it said that it blocked 132 ads. And I'm sorry, but we have to draw the line somewhere. Now, for context, and none of these news outlets that I'm about to mention have any reflection on my political standing. I was just using various media and news sites to kind of get a gauge of really just how many ads are blocked on other sites. So let's see what I've got here. Associated Press only had 5 ads blocked. The Washington Post had 2. YouTube had 3. Vox had 14, so a little bit more. And just because I'm a nerd, the RuneScape wiki had 5. And I'm okay with that. So I think for them to have 132 ads on a single article getting blocked, I'm sorry, that's a problem. And another thing about this article too is there were at least a few Amazon affiliate links in there. And it's just like, are the disgusting amount of ads not enough? Like, where does the greed end? Now look, as a small business owner, I can understand wanting to maximize revenue sources in any way possible. But this, Jesus Christ. Now, ads aside, here's an issue that I saw more so with the article itself. Now, I want you to remember the article in the Instagram post that even got me here in the first place. It's titled, "People are sharing subtle things in a kitchen that instantly indicate a person knows exactly what they're doing." So probably at about like 5 points, that if you want to call them that, down into the article, I noticed, hey, wait, these comments are from the worst class of people on the internet. That's right, Redditors. So I noticed that everyone's name was a link, and so I clicked a few, and it led to their comment on Reddit that the article was referencing. And that's when I noticed a few strange things about this. Okay, so first off, the post wasn't in some BuzzFeed-related subreddit. It was just from the subreddit r/cooking. And more than that, every single comment was on the same post in r/cooking. Now, I know AI-generated articles and, really just shill review articles, they're all over the place these days, and they're an issue. But ripping off a Reddit post just to make an article, now that rubs me the wrong way. And not only that, but as far as I can tell, the person who made the Reddit post, they're not even affiliated with BuzzFeed in any way. They moderated like Wall Street bets type subreddits in their bio. Really, nothing in their bio made me think that they were an employee of BuzzFeed at all. I think a big part of why I have an issue with these Reddit posts getting ripped off is I don't know if these Redditors consented to their comments being shared. Now I know it's publicly accessible, but what makes it even worse is the fact that they're linking to the comments, which is therefore linking to their profiles. And I mean, God forbid, someone shares an opinion and someone's reading a BuzzFeed article, and they don't like this person's opinion that got put in the BuzzFeed article. Well, now whoever didn't like that opinion can go and harass the person that made the comment very easily. And honestly, at best, this is just a lazy way to generate revenue. At worst, this is a predatory practice towards Redditors. Side note, I did go back to the article and I realized here that at the top it said, recently this Redditor asked Redditors to share the things that other people have in their kitchens that immediately tell you they're a good cook. And honestly, I agree with so many of these responses right at the top of the article. So I'm just kind of stupid for not realizing that at first. I mean, I'm used to just skipping past the junk in an article anyways, because usually the first 3 paragraphs are not important to whatever the article's about. So I was wondering, right? Well, if there's one article that's just kind of ripping off comments in a thread in a subreddit, surely there's got to be others, right? I went and I clicked on the link on BuzzFeed's website to take me to more food-related articles, and this is what I found. So I looked at the first 10 articles that the website offered up to me, and out of those 10, let's see, 1 was a recipe, 3 articles were just dumb, miscellaneous nonsense. It was really just a lot of fluff writing in between tweets. 2 of them were just about what dumb stuff that celebrities were tweeting, and the other was just people's opinions from Twitter. Noticing a trend here. There were 3 of those articles were just clearly shill, articles filled with affiliate links. And honestly, I would bet you my right nut that the people who wrote these articles, this is my money back guarantee. They, I promise you, they didn't take the time to get the items, to review them, to make sure they were up to their quality standards. Probably what they did was they looked at highly rated Amazon items in a category that they were looking to make an article about, and then they just slapped that list together, and that was that. Anyways, one article was, again, just about people's opinions, except this time it came from, the comments came from something called Buzzfeed Community. I don't fully understand what the Buzzfeed community thing is, but from what I can gather, it's more of like a community-driven side of Buzzfeed where people can like write their own articles or quizzes and stuff and make comments. And the thing is, like, I'm sure somewhere in the fine details of the user agreement, when you sign up to create an account, it's written that you consent to have your comments shared in these articles. But I mean, nobody takes the time to read that stuff. And it really begs the question, do these users know that their comments are being put into articles? Like, are they at least even getting a notification being like, hey, we're doing this, even if the fine print is maybe a little bit shady, you know? Now, to wrap up the other articles that I saw, one was actually pretty useful. It was about like what foods to stay away from while you're traveling. That's a useful article, and I can get behind that. But surprise, surprise, one of them was one of these posts, ripping comments from Reddit. So now that's 2 articles just today that I found where they're just ripping comments off Reddit and making it into an article, running 130 ads on it, and making money. Now, I know 10 articles isn't a very large sample size, but it's good enough for me, and I think it's enough for me to see how greedy BuzzFeed is, and I honestly would go as far as to call this predatory in nature. Now, I think that there's an argument to be made that any big corporation is greedy. It's just in their very nature, and I think, as much as I hate to say it, it's unfortunately what makes them so big and successful, and it makes them work. I mean, the greed is one thing, but the thing is for me, when they're just ripping off Reddit posts, when they're shoving so many ads down your throat, when they're forcing you to click the link in their bio just to hopefully get you to click a couple more articles, like, that is predatory, and that's not okay. Alright, so closing thoughts. Honestly, most of this was scripted, and I don't do the best with scripted stuff, and I wanted this to be a bit more authentic. I think a lot of us have known that BuzzFeed is at the very least a weird company, but I think what they're doing is legitimately harmful, and a media company should not be so manipulative like this. It's unacceptable, and we shouldn't be okay with it. And whatever your opinions on BuzzFeed are, you shouldn't support this behavior. It's not okay, and I think if more people take a stand against this big corporation, that maybe a change can be made, because media shouldn't be predatory, it shouldn't be toxic. I know there's so many bigger issues with media out there, but BuzzFeed feels like one that's small enough that we could actually maybe make a difference, at least within any kind of reasonable time scale. I don't know, maybe if I got anything wrong, or anyone has anything to add, let me know down in the comments, and hey, maybe I'll make a follow-up video. I'm always happy to get some constructive criticism, and this really just is my opinion on it. I'm not saying that BuzzFeed is, as a matter of fact, like the worst company in the world. I'm just saying I think something's wrong with the way that they're running their business. And I know it's not really my place to say, but it is how I feel. And that's kind of why I wanted to get out there and make this video. This isn't what I wanted my first video to be, but I really was so bothered, and I was just so sick of seeing that link in bio that I had to make a video and just say something about it. Anyways, if you want to see any of my sources, go check the link in my bio.